something so creepy about this, but this is a robot that Disney has made for their Shanghai resorts. They're rollerblades, and it skates about as well as me. Kia ora, good evening. Welcome to Blading News, your #1 rollerblading news show, and damn do I have a good episode for you today. There is a bunch of new skates that came out. I'm not talking just new colorways, we're talking brand new molds for plastic skates. Multiple. One of those new boots is coming from the brand new company called Standard Skate Co. Now this, if you haven't been living under a rock, you've probably heard of this one. It is a new company run by Law, the guy behind the YouTube channel Back to Blading, as well as the brands 50/50 and Chroma, a great dude who knows what he's doing, who makes excellent products. There are so many reasons to be excited for this skate. The main idea behind it, though, is to be a skate for everyone and also the new standard of skates. If you're at Bittercode Showdown or you've seen the leaks, you would have seen the prototype 3D printed version of the standard skates in a little box at the trade show there, which was an excellent way to do this. We still don't exactly know what the skate's going to look like. We see some clear features, though, like the black line and the Soulplate, and it kind of looks like a mix between a lot of skates we love. But all this ultimately did was leave us with a bunch of questions as to what this skate is about and what's happening. But lucky for you guys, I managed to get an exclusive interview with Law where I got a bunch of questions from the community here, and he answered all of them. And we got some crazy info here that's got me so excited for these, but we'll come back to that. I'll cut to that interview at the end of the show, so stick around for that. We got another boot to talk about. That's a brand new mold, and that is this self-leaked pick from Faction Skates. Faction, known for the carbon skates that they make, with the idea behind the brand being to make a skate you can really customize and tailor to fit how you want it, meaning every kind of part to it is interchangeable. Right here, they posted this picture, which at first you might just be thinking, hey, it's a green Faction skate, but actually this is a plastic boot that has been confirmed to be happening with a planned release for later in December this year, if everything goes to plan. I talked to Clark, the guy behind Faction, and he told me that he wanted to make a plastic boot to fill the price gap for like lower, more affordable skates, which is very similar to what Law is doing too. So it sounds like this gap in the market that we've had for a long time now, where with the price of skates going up, where you seem to only have the choice between the really cheap or like somewhat expensive. There's quite a big gap in the middle there. And it sounds like it's about to be filled with multiple options for everyone. Which I'm really glad to see, because I did make a video about how royalties have made skates kind of unaffordable for a lot of people. Faction's goal for the skates, they have it to be around $250 or less, and it's also going to fit into the Faction ecosystem, meaning it's compatible with all these Soulplates, liners, and cuffs and stuff like that, which honestly sounds so good. I'm hyped to hear that. Thanks again to Clark for giving me the inside scoop. It's an exciting time for blading. So many new blades, but we're not done there. There's a lot more new skates to talk about. Jacob Juul is getting a pro skate from Trigger, which is good to see. Trigger has been hard at work again with this new colorway. It looks like a nice black skate with a minty green highlights. A cool, very cool colorway. White frames on the kind of old school looking boot. Trigger is a company run by a great dude. They have great royalties for their teams, and it's cool to see them still chugging along. It's not the only new product from them. I can't wait to see this new edit to promo these by Jacob Juul, by the way. He's an insane skater. But they also released this big wheel skate here at 80 flat Rick skate, which looks so nice. I don't know if this is new. It might not be new. They might have been making this for a while, but I saw them post that this is available at Loco Skates. Shout out to Loco Skates. We love them. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. It looks like a skate that I can see selling well. It looks nice as a Rick skate. It's not the only ones though. We got some leaks. There is a few skates hovering around from razors that haven't been released. They've only released the Shima skate, and they seem to be sitting on the actual pro skates for their pro team, which we can give them shit for till the end of time. But there's been some leaks about a new Soulplate, in particular a new Soulplate for the Razor Colts. And if you look at it here, it's kind of interesting. They seem to be getting rid of like a, there's no, I don't remember. Let me see. What's the Colt look like? Yeah, they got rid of the backside plate. Okay. They've gotten rid of the backside plate, as you can see here, and it's just one piece. It has this kind of weird little swish in it. It looks nice though. It would be cool. This is the only picture ever. I don't know if it's any wider or any bigger. It's still got the 45-degree strap groove too that no one's really using. But it's cool to see them still innovating, especially at an old skate like this. It's been a long time since we've seen a brand new Soulplate for a skate that's mold that is this old. This isn't the only leak we have. This is the only one I'm going to show you though, because it's razors. We have a leak for a new pro skate, and it's a pro skate for our boy Michael Witzeman, which I'm so glad to see that's coming out so quick. It's well deserved. And all I'm going to tell you about it is you're not going to be feeling gray when it comes out, unless my sources are wrong. But speaking of possibly incorrect sources, there was a Remz fan page on Facebook that randomly posted this picture of a white and green skate, like HR looking skate, talking about this is going to be this is a prototype of a Remz skate that's supposed to come out this year. It actually linked to 2022, 2023, which makes it even more sus. But if you look at this picture kind of a bit too hard, it looks a bit like a AI image. Like, look at this. What is going on here, man? It's so weird, man. I was very confused by this. Like, why is it a fan page? I know Remz is going through hard times, kind of like where no one's really running the show there right now. I messaged them and they told me that this is a legit thing that's happening. They're going to be testing in a private group and that the official manufacturers are going to make, but they told me there's like an 80% chance that they get made if the people like it. Overall, super sus. I'll believe it when I see it. It kind of is very strange for the non-official Remz to be posting this. And also, there's a lot of red flags there. It's kind of a crazy shit post. This is just a shit post to get people excited. That's so fucked up. The Remz boys have had it so hard. Every day here's someone who's crying about the fact they can't get Remz. So this would be pretty unforgivable if it's a live Remedies fan. I don't know if you'll survive that one. But I guess people have probably already forgotten about it. So you might be alright. Speaking about big, floppy, loose, annoying, wide, bad skates to skates. Not sorry, Remz. Actually, I love Remz, by the way. I wouldn't be able to do top size if it wasn't for Remz. But I want to link you to a really good video here by Austin Paz. Austin reflected on his skating over the last year, and I haven't resonated with something in so much ever. Austin has been doing such great stuff in blading recently. He seems to be collabing with like all over the rollerblading scene, which I like to see everywhere. I see him everywhere. He's very supportive, really good, positive vibe in the scene. And he's done a bunch of good videos, but this one really spoke to me. He talks about how one sentence changed the way he thinks about skating and changed his skating and made him, how he says, improve his skating massively in a short amount of time. This is the sentence here. Let's hear it.
You have to think, like, where are you spending the most time on your skates? It's on the ground. So why are you putting the least amount of time into that? 50% of what's being filmed, if not more, is you skating up to it. And you've got 2 seconds of your grind, and then your exit. You're overlooking like the two biggest parts. If we're spending most of our time on the ground, then why not focus on that part of it? It seems pretty important.
That resonates with me so much. The same thing caught my eye from a different person, from City Blades. Shout out to City Blades, talking about why he transitioned from aggressive to free skating, and it was essentially the same kind of idea. But anyway, Austin Paz's skating is so nice to watch. He's absolute goals in every single way. And this is a really nice video to watch that I highly recommend you check out. And while we're talking about things that could change your life, check out these insanely beautiful straps here by Skate Stay Strapped. It seems to be an extremely premium, nice 45-degree straps for skates. That is so beautiful, man. They look so good. All these pictures they've done. Oh, I'm in the way, sorry. All these pictures they've done of them on skates just looks so good, dude. This looks like it's worth $1 bajillion, even on these horrible Shima skates here. Actually, Shima skates, I don't know why. I gotta hate on razors, okay? I just permanently gotta hate on them. But these Shima skates actually looked alright, not gonna lie. And we can't talk about straps without also talking about our boy Jab Rollervlog's handmade straps here. Look at these nice premium ones here. They look so good. They're all handmade. He tested them by hanging from a tree. I talked about it last time. Definitely cop them if you want to try out some Velcro straps. Shout out to the friend of the show, Jad Rollervlog. And we'll keep the community projects going, but with this new Soulplate here, which features a double groove, which I think is quite innovative. Avanta Moves here. Notice that a lot of people do grooves in a different position. They don't stick to the middle 45 degree, the middle backside plate, Some people go to the front, some people go to the back. I think that depends a lot on the frames, but he thought, why not add grooves specifically for those points and lean into it? And at this point, he told me he's actually working on one that has 3 grooves, a center and one on each side. And that way you don't have to make your own groove. I like this kind of thinking. I like the DIY-ness of it. And I think there could be something there. If people adopted this could very much change blading in a big way. Another thing that you should definitely keep an eye on, though, is our boy Tom Moyes. He's up to something, man. This is quite old at this point, so I hope it isn't kind of like he's trying to make it be forgotten about. But if you notice, he did a community poll where he was talking about if 10,000, is that euros? 10,000 euros or pounds? I think that's euros. It's a good top price for an edit comp. Now, this is insane. This would be like game changing. That's such a good price. Who the fuck was voting no on this, by the way? Dude, I'm coming for you if you voted no on this. But I think essentially the idea, I'm talking for Tom here, from what I gathered, the idea was to kind of have it sell like the videos as kind of a VOD. You pay a certain amount of money to watch all the top skaters in the world's edits. And then that money goes towards a prize for the person whose edit was best, who made an edit for that. And He must have estimated that price. That's what I guess. I could be wrong. But anyway, I would love to see this become a reality. I hope Tom hasn't moved on from it. He's the man. I would love to see this happen. That would be a huge moment for blading. Keep it coming. Moving on to another very important story. I had this video here of how a skate park is built come up in my feed not too long ago. It's all about how to build a skate park, right? It goes through all the people involved. But then it ends, the big twist at the end is that it is brought to you by Big Concrete.
To be creative, working with concrete, and there are multiple job opportunities waiting for you. Get creative. Explore your concrete career today.
I can't tell you how much that threw me off to hear the end of that video be like, explore your concrete career today. They're targeting skaters. They're targeting us to join this freaking construction field. What the fuck? What kind of weird advertisement for a job is that? It just threw me off so hard. But anyway, I had to tell you about that. We must stop. We must put a stop to Big Concrete. They're up to no good right now, I'm telling you. And then for my rollerblading gamers out there, we got an update on Franky Morales' new rollerblading game he's been working on. Honestly, this video here is really well done. It got me pretty excited for it. It turns out that Franky is completely self-taught and completely made this video game on his own, fueled by someone telling him he couldn't do it, which I love. But honestly, as someone who's kind of been following gaming and these kind of games, there's a few red flags there. I said this earlier, but essentially the game isn't finished yet. And he plans to get it out later this year and get it out on PlayStation 5. And I feel like that's a massive task. I want him to prove me wrong, but I don't know if we're going to see this game anytime soon. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty excited for it though. It's a game that's not focused on rollerblading and just has rollerblading in it. It could be very big for blading if all goes well. And also it's super impressive that Franky can teach himself this and make it happen. That's a very rollerblader thing to do, you know, self-motivated. And prove me wrong, Franky. Please prove me wrong. I really want to believe in this project. Very good video, by the way. Speaking of more games, though, there was this Kickstarter that was too slow to cover here for a new rollerblading game called Miszou. How many ways can you spell Miszou, by the way? Like, what the fuck? But it was a cool kind of lo-fi rollerblading game. It's not 3D. It's like, what's the name for it? It's like 3D, 2D. Here's a cool trailer for it. But yeah, it's essentially like this. It looked pretty fun. Very kind of simple and nice. And if you're interested, definitely check out their YouTube. They haven't given up on this. They're going to keep trying to do it anyway. And they make insanely good videos, man. I was watching this. The audio's a bit all over the place, but the video itself is very good. Like, it's well edited. You'll be hooked. You'll watch. And it made me have a lot more respect for this game. I can see the work that's been put into it. And it's good to see blading in this light. But the one game I am really looking forward to is obviously Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. This game, I think, is about to come out any moment. It comes out Q3 this year. It's the new kind of like knockoff but sequel to Jet Set Radio, and recently the team behind it has been daily posting stuff about the game, which makes you think it is about to come out, man. It must be so soon. I was thinking that one of their first posts here that had like a code in it, like I was thinking like, is this some kind of date? It's not a date. It's just the score. But this is about to come out and I'm gonna drop everything. If it comes out while I'm in America, I'm gonna be pissed. But yeah, anyway, we'll stay tuned for that. Okay, now I'm going to show you my interview with Law. If you didn't skip past this part and you're hearing me right now, you should definitely comment that I definitely love Razors. Let's make it even worse. I definitely love how Razors treats their protein. Because no one in the same mind is going to normally comment that, right? Anyway.
Wow. All 4 of our shells will be tested, if not already confirmed and in production hopefully by the end of the month.
So they're all just 3D printed shells that are being tested right now. How are you keeping those like under lock? How are you stopping people from spotting them and leaking them? I feel like we see leaks all the time.
So you saw the initial prototype that we had at the Grindsgiving event. I'm taping them in a checkerboard duct tape.
So even if you see them,
you see it, you don't really know what's going on. You'll see it, and there's a lot of homages to different skates that we've seen over the years, but it is a distinct look. There's a few features that I've never seen in a skate before, and I think that it is going to differentiate it from a look perspective.
Ooh, yep.
And I want to keep those under wraps. I don't want people to see that. So duct taping it so that people can see it. Yeah, kind of like a car prototype.
Yeah.
I think is the best way that we found to test without having people actually see it.
Find it. Yeah. The chicken look was cool too. I remember you first showed it out. I was
super
like,
cool.
That'd be sick. Yeah.
I got to figure out a way to do it, even if it's just a quick, like a limited run.
That'd be so good.
So cool.
So it's a flat boot that's going to have like that room for a heel shock absorber, right? Heel pad.
Yep, that's correct.
About how you can have different options for it. Is it going to come with like different options that you can choose, or is it like a do-it-yourself? Or like
it's a good question. We haven't gotten to that point yet. I don't know what the price for the additional shock absorbers will be. If it is reasonable, we'll probably throw another one in the box and just say, hey, you want to try something firm or you want to try something squishy, you know? I don't think that we will include different heights in the box.
Yeah.
We're working really hard to keep this at a manageable price. I feel like skates in the last few years have gotten a little bit more expensive than I feel comfortable with. And I understand the companies doing that, but we're working really hard to keep that price down. The new standard is for everyone.
Yeah.
And that includes all different types of feet and includes all different budgets.
Yeah.
And keeping it at a reasonable price to start with, keeping it options so that you could buy them boot only, you could buy them without the liner.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've talked about this, but we're not going to try to be the next big skate company. We're going to be more of a limited release, more of a smaller run. You know, I don't need to take over the industry. I'm really happy with the mark that I've made in the industry, making quality products, but I don't need to sell thousands and thousands of this skate. I want to sell enough to cover our costs and to make sure that people that want skates have skates. But I don't want to flood the market. You know, I don't want, you know, I never want to see them discounted because there's just so many of them out there. And I feel like some skates out there are getting into that zone.
Yes, yeah.
And maybe we will in the future, but I'm going to do everything that I can. We're aware of the problem. I'm going to do everything that I can to keep them high resale value, high quality, limited availability. Like, this should be something that you look forward to the next drop.
Is there plans long-term to add more sizes?
I'm not going to say no. I don't know that we'll do mid shells. I feel like a shell for every 2 sizes is probably the right call.
Yeah.
I get that other brands might want to come out with an in-between shell break. Totally fine. Like, if you get to that point where you can come out with shells for every size, like, you're winning in my eyes.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of people on the top and the bottom though that don't care about that middle. Like, you can accommodate the middle. I want to make sure that it's for everyone.
For everyone,
want to make sure that everyone can fit the skate.
Yeah,
it's just a pause thing.
Yeah, the one I hear the most is the people in the larger end. They have no options right now. It's like just M12s. That's it. Which is crazy. Yeah, but
it's super interesting, and I feel like if we do it well, we could make a big dent in that market. Yeah, there won't be one at launch. For me, it's super important that people know that these skates are going to fit or aren't going to fit before they spend money getting them sent to them, because I hate wasting money, and it feels like that is just a complete waste.
Yeah,
you should know if the skate's going to fit before they get there. So we're going to do everything we can to make it easier for you to figure that out. Stay tuned. Obviously, there's a lot more to be said about that.
If you were adding more sizes, when you're going to do it, which way would you go first? You think, would it be small or large?
Probably large. I feel like small has more options already. Large has a very vocal minority that I would love to support.
Sounds good. They'll be happy to hear that, I'm sure.
Yeah. And no promises, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
We've got to make this a success, and I got to recoup the crazy amount of money that I'm putting into it. But it's on the roadmap.
Is there someone else helping with the design? And also, is Niche Skates involved?
So I don't know anything about Niche Skates. I know of them. I've seen the Instagram posts, over the last year or so. I don't know anybody there. I don't have any associated with them. Design. So Stefan does all of our design. Stefan Brando. Cool. Yeah, he is, a really good friend. Like the art design, stuff like that. That's all my work. In the factory. The factory works with me.
So the skate's going to come in 3 ways. It's got the boot only, no liner, boot only with liner, and then like ready to roll. Is the ready to roll one going to have 50/50 frames and chroma wheels, 50/50 wheels? Or?
No, it's got a brand new frame. So we have a brand new frame for standard, new wheels, new hardware, new mounting plates, new everything.
Wow.
So the ready to roll will be completely standard. Again, I wanted to make sure that it was separate because I want to have riders on the team that don't skate for 50/50.
Yeah.
It's super important to me that this isn't a 50/50 project or a chroma project. It's its own thing. Are
they going to be sold like flat or anti-rocker?
Yes. So I don't mind sharing that. We will sell them anti-rocker as our baseline. So one of the things that we're working on as a skate builder and you'll be able to create your setup on our website if you order direct or through one of our launch partners. And you'll be able to add additional wheels if you want.
Okay.
The wheels and the frames, all that stuff isn't going to be available aftermarket. So one of the concerns that I have is flooding the market with frames. I think there is a demand for aftermarket frames, and I don't want to flood that market with our stuff.
So you talked about the new mounting hardware. Is that just for the Soulplate?
It's all UFS, so it will be UFS. I'm a huge fan of UFS till I die. But we have custom hardware, so instead of just using T-nuts like other people do, we had issues. I've had issues in the past with bolt stripping, with T-nut spinning.
Yeah, God.
We designed new hardware that eliminates that problem.
Ooh, yeah.
And I'm pretty excited about that.
Is it like a new kind of UFS as well as UFS? If that makes sense? New frame mounting?
It's UFS. So any UFS frame will fit. And the Soulplate will mount to the boot. So we'll have the bolt that goes through the frame through the Soulplate into the boot. So it'll be a really responsive ride. You'll see the mounting hardware. I can't say much about it yet, but we have future goals with the mounting hardware. This is like stage one. But definitely know that you'll be able to ride any frame out there with this boot. Yeah. So it's a completely
very
UFS
exciting.
thing.
Someone had caught that you're talking about possibly doing like a pro Soulplate kind of thing, similar to Witzeman. Was that?
We talked about Soulplates on the last Gear Talk. I don't have any plans to do a pro Soulplate. I don't really know what a pro Soulplate's going to be.
I've noticed that in the pictures of the skate that you had at Bitter Cold Showdown, as well as even the artwork, there's like a line above the Soulplate. Is that just cosmetic, or is there like some kind of function to that? So people theorize that maybe it's like a thud kind of softener.
It's cosmetic. We'll have more information on that in the future. It is a cosmetic thing. It's not a functional thing. So there's no like huge shock absorber that's built into the bottom of the skate. It's going to be a traditional standard, shock absorber that you'd find in a USD 7 or something like that.
For the planned summer launch, is this going to be, I assume it's going to be pre-orders, or is it going to be like ready to get at the time, like already made?
We will have pre-orders. I mean, obviously it's our first production, so we're going to need some help. We have to pay for all of our materials up front. And then in order for them to release the skates, we have to pay for all the skates. So we will need a pre-order. Yeah. I hope that it's only 45 days before you get the skates. It's hard to say with shipping, but you never know. We will have launch partners around the world. So Europe, UK, Australia, and the US are already signed up. You'll be able to order from those shops, or you'll be able to order from me directly. Sweet, they'll be able to do pre-orders as well. And they'll get them as soon as possible. We'll be drop shipping to some of them so that they'll get them quick. They might even get them before I do. But we're doing everything that we can. Again, this isn't my first time. Like, we've done frame launches, we've done wheel launches. I know how the logistics works. The only question is how long it's going to take, and that's a little difficult to tell. But I don't want to take your money until I need it.
Will the box come with a manual, and will there be like a custom Allen key or something like that too?
Custom Allen key is on my list. It won't be at launch, but I would love nothing more than design a tool, because that's awesome. There will be stuff in the box.
Sweet. Yeah, I like that. While I was editing this, Standard Skate Co. posted their Instagram an update showing off the frame a little bit. And at first I thought maybe it had a changeable H block like the new Kaiser frames, but on closer look, I think it is just teasing the frames themselves. And it leaks the fact that it's a 58mm max wheel that'll fit. It has let me read the comment. It'll be better than me trying to decode all these words on here. Hold up. The middle wheel spread is 105mm. There's going to be a 250mm and a 270mm frame. So exciting stuff. Massive thank you to Law for giving me the opportunity to ask these questions and actually answering them. It's very kind of him. I didn't even get to say bye because I ran out of my trial in the Zoom, or even to thank him in person. So shout out to him. Really, really appreciate it. I will upload the full unedited version of this interview for my patrons and my members and my Twitch subs. So if you hit the join button below, or you're a Prime sub or gifted a sub on Twitch, or you sign up to my Patreon, it's only a few dollars a month, then you have access to that. And you'll see the whole thing and anything I cut out. Now you may be wondering what this really sick footage behind me is here. It is a new video from Joe Atkinson of him just doing kind of uncut lines in San Francisco. And speaking of San Francisco, I'm going to be there very soon as I head to Spring Cup. I'm doing a couple of weeks of street skating around SF in LA. I'm super excited about it. If you see me at Spring Cup, please come say hey. I'll have some gifts for you. If you're a croc gang like me, I have some gibbets to give out, some Rainbow Skate gibbets that you can have, as well as some limited edition stickers, stuff that you'll only be able to get off me if you see me at Spring Cup. Wouldn't be able to do it without the help of the community here and a few main people from the community as well, so massive thank you to them. It's definitely a bit of a distraction, but this is a really good video, by the way. It's a new kind of style. It's a different style to what you expect from an edit, and it's quite mesmerizing to watch. Like mesmerizing, you know? So I definitely recommend it. Round off the show, I'm going to link you to a video from friend of the show, Happy Tooth. This is his latest part. It's filled with some really tech and different, unique skating stuff that I love to see from him. Some crazy tricks on ledge, by the way. But the main reason I'm linking to it because the ender is so messed up, dude. His homies did him so dirty. Stefan, Hawk Trackler, we're coming for you, dude. That's fucked up. But anyway, I want to give a massive thank you to my Blade News correspondents. I wouldn't be able to do this without them, for real, as well as the rest of my patrons and members. I wouldn't be able to go to America if it wasn't for them. So massive thank you for supporting me, guys. And thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you. Hope you go for a skate, but click this video, okay? Go watch it. Go watch it and leave a comment, okay?